For decades, fans have argued, speculated, and obsessed over one question: why did the Beatles really break up? The truth, however, is far more complicated. And maybe only the Fab Four themselves ever knew for sure. But even their answers seem to shift like the wind. Every year, a new story, a new reason, a new emotion. In the early aftermath of the split, their explanations were diplomatic. It was simply time to move on, they'd say. But as lawsuits began to fly, letters turned sour, and headlines painted chaos between McCartney, Lennon, and the rest. That polished statement quickly lost its shine. Then came the solo projects, and suddenly the wounds became obvious. George Harrison's haunting lyrics, "You've got me wondering how I lost your friendship," made it painfully clear that this wasn't just a professional breakup. It was deeply personal. Years later, Paul McCartney would point to John Lennon's growing connection with Yoko Ono, telling the BBC that John was simply starting a new life. One filled with love, activism, and yes, a bed-in for peace. For many fans, that became the official story. Yoko broke up the Beatles, but John didn't see it that way at all. In one of his final interviews, he set the record straight. And it's the kind of confession that still shocks people today. Lennon admitted that he had wanted out long before anyone realized. "I was always waiting for a reason to leave the Beatles," he said, "ever since I filmed How I Won the War." That was back in 1966, years before the world even suspected the cracks were forming. To Lennon, the real issue wasn't marriage or fame, it was freedom. When the Beatles stopped touring, something inside him broke. He felt trapped, disconnected from the raw thrill of performing live. The screaming crowds, the danger, the adrenaline. It was all gone, and what remained was a golden cage. "I was too frightened to step out of the palace," Lennon once said, describing how easy it was to stay comfortable inside the Beatles' empire, even when it no longer made him happy. Then, in a chilling comparison, he reflected on Elvis Presley's fate. The king is always killed by his courtiers. He is overfed, overindulged, overdrunk to keep him tied to his throne. But unlike Elvis, Lennon woke up. And when he finally walked away from the Beatles, it wasn't an act of destruction. It was an act of survival.